Have you ever experienced the Starbucks effect? Now, I know what you're thinking. What in the world is a Starbucks effect? Have you ever been to a Starbucks or any coffee shop or any restaurant and were not able to order the coffee that you wanted or give your name? If you have, then you've experienced the Starbucks effect. My name is Michael Williams, and today we're going to talk about this effect, how it has impacted you, how it continues to impact you, and what you can do about it. So what is the Starbucks effect exactly, and how does it impact you? Well, if you've had the experience of going into, for example, a Starbucks, and you know that you want the Mocha Grande or whatever it is, right? But you've had trouble ordering the coffee. You anticipated, oh, I'm not going to be able to say that word. I'm not going to be able to order the exact coffee that I want, and so I'll have to order something else. Or maybe you're able to order the coffee, but you know they're going to ask you your name, and I'm not going to be able to give them my name. Some people actually, I've talked to clients who've given them other names. They're like, well, they don't know. I don't have to show my license. So by having this experience in Starbucks, what has happened is you've created what we call the Starbucks effect, which is whenever you think about going to Starbucks, you start to feel a bit anxious, right? You start to feel a bit anxious just by thinking of it. You haven't even gone there yet, but just by, okay, I'd like to go get some coffee. I love coffee. I just love going to Starbucks. And as soon as you start anticipating going to Starbucks, you start feeling a little anxious. Why? Because of your previous experiences in Starbucks. You start thinking, uh-oh, I really want to get this coffee, but I don't think I'll be able to say it. Or I know that I have to give my name, but I don't think I'll be able to say it. And so you experience this effect of feeling anxious, anticipating the worst, just by intending to go to Starbucks or any restaurant or any coffee shop where you have something that you want to order, but you struggle to order, or where you need to give your name. It could be any other situation where you're in a meeting and you need to introduce yourself, right? But we're just calling it the Starbucks effect. Now, in order to understand the Starbucks effect, we need to understand the anticipation effect. That word anticipate is neutral, right? Because we can positively anticipate, we can look forward to something happening in a positive way, or we can negatively anticipate something. We can worry about it, we can dread it, we can start to feel anxious about it, right? But anticipate itself is neutral. So the anticipation effect says that you have a situation in which you're going to be speaking, you're going to be saying something. When I say speaking, I'm not talking about giving a presentation. This could be ordering coffee, talking to friends or family, giving an update in a meeting, introducing yourself, whatever it is, you're going to be speaking. And because of your previous experiences, you begin to anticipate the worst. You say, oh, if I have to say this word, I anticipate that I'm going to have trouble. Why? Because I had trouble before. If I have to introduce myself, I anticipate that I'm going to have trouble giving my name. Why? Because I had trouble before. All right? Now, you're probably wondering, well, what can we do about this and how does this impact us? Well, we're going to talk about what to do about it, and I have a little acronym that I'm using. You get mad at anticipation. You get mad at it, M-A-D, and we'll talk about that in the next video. But how does this impact you? Well, some of the ways that this can impact you, the Starbucks effect, the anticipation effect, is you can begin to avoid those very speaking situations. You can avoid going to the coffee shop. You can avoid going to restaurants. You can avoid going to certain coffee shops or restaurants where you have to introduce yourself. You can avoid ordering the things that you want. Now let's just zoom out a little and look at a more global effect this can have on you. You can avoid applying for the jobs that you want because you know that you may, or you anticipate that you may have trouble making it through the interview. Or maybe you make it through the interview, but you know that the job requires greater speaking responsibilities. And so you anticipate that you're going to have trouble because you've had trouble in the past in similar speaking situations. Okay? So in other words, you miss out on things that you've always wanted to do or things that you're qualified to do. You've seen people surpass you, accelerate past you, who you know that you are actually more qualified than them. You could actually do a better job of them. But you have stepped aside and you've delayed, you've avoided because of your speech, right? The Starbucks effect. So, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take on this responsibility. I'm not going to give this presentation, or I'm going to avoid it, or I'm going to cut it short. I'm going to rush my way because I don't want to get stuck. I'm anticipating I'm probably going to get stuck on some words. So I got to hurry up and get through this, right? Speaking situations in which people in authority are there, right? You can experience the Starbucks effect. I've had trouble when people in authority are there because I know that they're looking at me, they're judging me. And so I've had problems saying certain things, and so you might avoid those kind of meetings or just feel really anxious about them. All right? You may avoid speaking situations where there's more than a certain number of people, okay? Or certain social situations, right? All of these kinds of speaking situations can trigger the Starbucks effect. And so what we want to do is we want to provide you with a very, very simple strategy that you can use to overcome this. And so understanding the Starbucks effect and the anticipation effect, which is neutral, right? You can negatively or positively anticipate something. Understanding this is very important to solving this problem. And we'll talk about that in the next video. Now, what I want to encourage you to do is to visit us at pro90d.com. And we have some options there for you. So if you're tired of struggling with your speech and you want a proven system, a proven process that can help you transform your speech, take your speech and therefore your life to the next level, then just visit us at pro90d.com, pro90d.com. Visit us and you'll see all the options. Most all of your questions will be answered there. Just take your time. Go down the page, look at the content, look at the information, and you'll see a selection of options. One selection is our Quick Start. It's a Quick Start program. If you say, well, I'm not really willing to invest this much money or time, so we have a 7-day Quick Start program that's super, super duper inexpensive. You'll spend this, at Starbucks, right? So you look at that, you get into that. It gives you a taste of Pro90D. You can actually see and experience some results within the 7 days. You can learn some things and then decide, hey, man, I'm ready to move to the next level. And then you can move into our complete system, right? Or you may know already, hey, I need a complete system right now. That's there for you as well. Some of you already know, you know what? I've tried self-studies. I've tried working on my own. I need to work with someone one-on-one. I need that accountability. I need that evaluation and feedback. What I've seen over the past 9 years of doing this full-time is that when someone works with someone else full-time, they can accelerate their progress by at least 10 times. Sometimes it's more than that. What do I mean? I mean, sometimes people are working on their own and it takes them 2 and 3 years to get to the same place that it can take them 2 or 3 months when they're working with someone one-on-one. Now, some of you, though, will be able to get into the self-study and get through it, accelerate your progress, get everything that you need. And so the self-study is a great place to start. It's a great place to start. I actually recommend that you start there. Only do the coaching if you feel like this is something that I need to get to that next level. In fact, some people do the self-study and they realize, wow, I've gone about as far as I can go on my own. This has been extremely helpful. My life has changed, but I want to get to that next level and I can't seem to figure out how to do that on my own. Then those people do the coaching. So the options are there for you. If you really want to take your speech to the next level, Pro90D Speech System is there. It's a proven, scientifically based system that works. We address both your speaking style, the way that you speak, right? And we address the mindset, and we address your speaking identity. And you can learn more about all these things at pro90d.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please watch the next video where we provide you with some solutions to overcoming the Starbucks effect. Okay, we'll see you soon. My name is Michael Williams. Thank you for watching this video.